My sister's death was ruled an accident. Everyone moved on, except me. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. And then, one night, I turned on her old phone and found secret messages that led me down a dark, horrifying path. What I discovered didn't just change what I believed about her death, it changed everything I thought I knew about my family. My name is Ava Carter. I'm 26 years old and I live in Houston, Texas. I work as a freelance graphic designer, and up until a year ago, my life was simple. But everything changed the day my older sister, Emily, died in what the police claimed was a tragic car accident. She was only 28, beautiful, brilliant, brave, and she didn't deserve to die the way she did, alone on a rainy night with no one to witness her last breath. They said it was just a curve on the highway and slick roads, but in my gut, I knew something wasn't right. It had been 3 months since Emily's funeral. Our parents had boxed up most of her things, unable to bear the sight of her belongings. I had taken a few of her keepsakes, a necklace she wore every day, her favorite letter journal, and her old iPhone. The phone had been dead since the crash, or so I thought. One evening, while cleaning my closet, I noticed a faint vibration coming from a box on the shelf. It was the phone. No charger had been connected, no power source nearby, but the screen blinked on, just for a second. Curious and a little creeped out, I plugged it in for the first time since her death. The Apple logo lit up slowly, as if waking from a deep sleep. When it turned on, everything looked normal, until I opened her messaging app. There were messages from unknown numbers, many of them unread, and most of them were received after her death. At first, I assumed it was spam, but these weren't marketing messages. They were personal, intimate, scary. One read, "You told me you wouldn't say anything. If you talked, that's on you." Another, "We warned you, Em. You knew the rules." My heart pounded as I scrolled. Who were these people? And what rules had she broken? The last message was from a week after she died. You think death ends this? It doesn't. I dropped the phone. Suddenly, the air in my room felt cold. Too cold. I picked it back up and took a screenshot of every message, just in case. Whatever this was, I wasn't letting it go. While browsing through her apps, I noticed a hidden folder named Dusk. I'd never seen her use it before. When I opened it, it asked for a password. I tried birthdays, her dog's name, my name. Nothing worked. Then I remembered. Emily always used the street address of our first childhood home as her secret key for private journals. I typed it in. 514B Rosewood Lane. It worked. Inside were chat logs, audio recordings, and files named things like Don't Trust Him.mp3, July 19th surveillance.mov, redhouse_schedule.pdf. My chest tightened. What had Emily gotten herself into? One document stood out, redhouse_schedule.pdf. It was a weekly schedule full of names, times, and cryptic locations like green room, 2 a.m., no phones, basement check, 4 a.m., double lock, visitor protocol, Mia, 7 p.m. None of it made sense, but one thing stood out. My sister's name was on the list, next to check-in, 11 p.m. Tuesdays. Why would Emily be checking in somewhere at night? And what was the Red House? I Googled the phrase along with our city. Nothing came up, at least nothing on the surface web. But then I found an old Reddit thread titled Red House, Houston, real or urban legend? The comments talked about an abandoned mansion outside the city limits. People claimed it was used for illegal parties, secret clubs, even blackmail operations. Most of the replies were deleted. One said, "If your family's involved, get out. Now." I felt the blood drain from my face. Was Emily part of this, or was she trying to expose it? I played the first audio file, "Don't Trust Him," MP3. Emily's voice came through, shaken and hushed. "If anything happens to me, Ava, don't believe what they tell you. Especially not Jason. He's not who you think." Jason. My boyfriend. We had been together for 2 years. Emily liked him, or at least I thought she did. Why would she say this? Was Jason involved in whatever this Red House thing was? I scrolled further and found another audio file labeled finalconfession.mp3, but it was locked, passcode protected. As I stared at the screen, a new message popped up on the phone from an unknown number. It read, "You're too late, Ava, just like she was." That night, I confronted Jason. I didn't tell him what I found, not yet. I just casually asked, "Hey, did Emily ever talk to you about some place called the Red House?" His expression changed, just slightly. A flicker of something, like fear, passed through his eyes. But then he smiled, too quickly. "Red House? No, sounds like a bad horror movie." I laughed, he laughed, but in my gut, something twisted. When he left for work the next morning, I went through his laptop. I knew it was wrong, but I had to know. In his email's deleted thread, I found a deleted thread between him and someone named G. Rutherford. One email read, "Emily was getting reckless. You handled it, right?" I stared at the screen. My mouth went dry. Jason wasn't just involved. He knew exactly what had happened to my sister. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't think straight. I just wanted to hear Emily's voice again, to know what she knew. I tried unlocking the finalconfession.mp3 file again. Password hint, "You always said this to me." I racked my brain. Then it hit me. Every birthday, every celebration, Emily would smile and say, "To the moon and back." It was our little phrase since we were kids. I typed, "To the moon and back." The file opened. Her voice was shaky, frightened. "If you're hearing this, I'm probably gone. I was working with someone inside the Red House to expose them. I thought I could handle it, but I was wrong. They have powerful people, politicians, cops, even someone in our family." I froze. She continued, "Don't trust Jason, and stay away from Dad's safe. If they find out you have this phone, they'll come for you too." I waited until my parents were out of the house for the weekend. The safe in Dad's study had always been off limits. He claimed it held old documents and insurance stuff. I used Emily's birthday as the combination. It clicked open. Inside wasn't paperwork. There were envelopes full of cash, 3 unregistered cell phones, and a folder marked Property Holdings RH. I opened the folder and felt sick. Deeds, blueprints, maps, all leading to a property marked Red House, Harris County, Texas. And Dad's signature was on every document. I drove for 2 hours into the outskirts of Houston. The address from the documents led to a rusted gate surrounded by thick woods. A faded sign read, "Private property. Trespassers will be shot." My hands were shaking as I climbed over the gate and followed the dirt path. Eventually,
I saw it. A massive, rotting mansion. The red house. Windows boarded, roof sagging, but cameras still blinked red in the corners. I hid in the bushes and waited until nightfall. Then, I saw them. Men in suits, a young girl escorted in blindfolded. Laughter, screams, doors slamming. My blood ran cold. Emily hadn't just stumbled onto something shady. She had uncovered a full-blown trafficking ring. And someone in my family was helping fund it. I returned home and packed a bag. I had the evidence, the audio, the messages, the documents. I thought I was safe until I got a text from Mom. "Sweetheart, please come home. Your father's worried. Jason's here too. We just want to talk." No. They knew. They knew I had gone to the red house. They knew I had Emily's phone. And worst of all, they weren't going to let me live alive. I didn't go home. Instead, I checked into a cheap motel under a fake name, paid in cash. I turned off my phone and only used Emily's old device for research. I uploaded all the evidence, screenshots, audios, maps, to a hidden cloud folder with auto-send to 3 trusted people if anything happened to me. Then, I contacted someone I hadn't spoken to in years, Detective Leela Monroe, Emily's old college roommate, now working in internal affairs. I sent her a single message. "I have proof. Emily didn't die in an accident. Please meet me, alone." She responded within 5 minutes. "Where and when?" Leela met me at an old diner off the highway. No badge, no backup. When I showed her Emily's phone, the recordings, the Red House files, she didn't speak for a long time. Finally, she whispered, "We suspected something like this, but we never had proof." She looked me dead in the eyes. "If what you're saying is true, Ava, you're in danger. Real danger. These people don't just silence, they erase." I asked her the question that had haunted me for days. Was my father involved? She paused, then nodded slowly. "He's not just involved. Your father is on the board." With Leela's help, we built a plan. She had access to a small task force, clean cops, people outside the local PD who didn't answer to the same corrupt chain. We would gather live proof of activity at Red House. Leela wired me with a hidden mic. I would go back, this time pretending to be Emily, claiming to return with insurance. It was dangerous. It was insane, but I had no choice. I was going to finish what my sister started. The Red House looked different this time. Cleaner, brighter, alive. I wore one of Emily's jackets, pulled my hair into a bun like hers, and used one of the burner phones from the dad's safe to text a contact I found saved as Mr. G. "I'm ready. I have what you need. Let's talk." The reply came within seconds. "Tonight, midnight, South Door. Come alone." I entered through the basement, heart racing. Inside were rooms, red walls, velvet chairs, soundproofed chambers, cameras, monitors, contracts. This wasn't just a trafficking ring. It was a blackmail factory. Powerful men brought in, recorded, threatened, and controlled. And my sister
had almost brought it down. I planted a small camera behind a fake wall vent. Then I uploaded a live feed to Lila's secure server. I thought I was being smart, careful, silent, but I wasn't fast enough. A voice behind me growled, "You look just like her." I turned. It was Mr. G, a man with silver hair, a scar down his cheek, and eyes that looked like he hadn't slept in a decade. He smiled. "Ava Carter, we were hoping you'd come back." Before I could run, two men grabbed me. My mic was torn off, my phone smashed. Darkness swallowed me. But not before I whispered one thing. "Emily, I'm sorry." I woke up in a small concrete room. No windows, just a flickering light above. My hands were zip-tied, my phone was gone, my mic was gone. No one knew where I was. Hours passed, or maybe it was days, I couldn't tell. They brought me food once, no words, just blank stares. Then came Jason. He stood at the door, arms crossed, smiling like a snake. "I told you to let it go, Ava, but no, you had to play hero." I spat at his feet. "You killed her." He tilted his head. "We did what had to be done. She broke the rules. You did too." Then he said something that made my blood run cold. "Your father gave the green light." That night, I felt hopeless. I remembered Emily's voice, her warning, her courage. And then I realized something. They had missed Emily's phone. I had hidden it in the red house's HVAC duct behind the vent when I planted the camera. It had auto-upload still running. If the battery survived and the Wi-Fi signal reached, it might still be sending data. I whispered a prayer and clung to that tiny thread of hope. 3 states away, Leela was watching the last backup feed come in from Emily's phone. One clip showed Ava being dragged. Another showed Jason confessing on camera, saying, "Your dad gave the green light." That was enough. Leela mobilized her team, state police, federal cybercrime units, and 2 journalists she trusted with her life. Within 4 hours, Red House was surrounded. Within 6, news helicopters hovered above the mansion. And within 7, the world knew. I don't remember much of what happened next. Just flashing lights, gunshots, doors bursting open, hands pulling me from the dark. Lila's face swimming into view. "You're safe now, Ava. We've got you." The Red House was raided. Files, videos, faces, everything seized. 57 arrests, 4 politicians, 6 police officers, dozens of elite clients. My father was taken into custody in handcuffs. He looked at me once, no apology, no emotion, just shame. Jason tried to run. He didn't get far. It's been 7 months. The trials are still ongoing, but justice is rolling forward like a freight train. I testified. I told the world everything, not just what happened, but why it mattered. Emily's name is no longer just a death certificate. It's headlines, court cases, documentaries. They asked me after it all how I had the strength to go on. I said, because she was strong, and I loved her. Now, every time I walk past her picture, I whisper, We did it, Em. You didn't die for nothing. She saved lives. She saved mine. And now the world knows the truth.
This was Ava Carter's story, a journey from grief to truth, and a sister's undying love that brought down a hidden empire. What would you do if you found messages from beyond the grave? Like, comment, and subscribe for more true, inspired revenge stories every week only on Revenge Room. Want your story told? Drop a title or idea in the comments below.